one of the big themes in yogic philosophy and probably yogic, yoga asana practice is the practice of letting go. Uh, Another way of looking at it, which kind of freaks people out, is detachment.
Yeah.
Because that's something else. That's like when your mind's at peace and you really are detached from, you know, our youth. There's a lot. Our society is really attached to looking young. I think you need to look young, feel young, but we're all growing older. My niece is had a meeting with my siblings. There's six of us. One refused to show. And Carol, my mom died in April. I mean, she lived a long, healthy life, but because there's six of us, we're selling our lake house because we can't, some of us don't want it. Some of us can't afford it on our own. So we're selling it. So my niece doesn't want us to sell it. And she had a presentation 2 weeks ago, which was she was so phenomenal in how she led it. But basically, it was an emotional call, like, what are your favorite, memories and blah, blah, blah. And so in a sense, it was very healing for my siblings to say what they loved about the house and the lake and the community. But then I asked her, do you have a business plan? And she said, no. So then I kind of got off on a different topic because there's an emotional attachment, but there's a financial reality. And so I just want her to look at the financial reality so she can see where the whole family is. So we all get attached to stuff. The nice thing about doing yoga, and you already know this, I don't need to tell you, is just doing the practice for an hour lets go a lot of tension, even thoughts or worries that we have, that's immediate in our lives. So there's a natural letting go when we can stretch the body. Anyway, and the most extreme practice is called brahmacharya, which is completely detaching from the world. So we might think of it as people living in a cave, but the way my teacher says it is, no, you can't live in a cave. That's just cheating. How can you be detached from worldly stuff, and maintain kind of a calm and peace in your body? So I mean, we can look at our family, like that's my biggest challenge. Like I can get detached from politics and all that, but can I get detached from my brothers and sisters' personalities? And yes, because I'm an enlightened being. What we need today is a wall, a chair. We're not going to do too much in a chair, but there's one exercise I want us to do in a chair. So make sure you have a chair nearby and some blocks. And what we'll start with is legs up the wall. And you can just have legs up the wall. You can also take your blankets, right? Fold them. Have the rounded edge of the blanket about 4 inches away from the wall so your tailbone drips off. Because if your butt is on the wall with your tailbone, you're going to round your back. But if you do a slight tilt, that would be good. So you can do 1 or 2 blankets. And, we've been doing this for the last couple of weeks because, I mean, gravity just pulls everything down. Thank God. And we've learned to stand up and move, but in yoga, we often we do inversions, which we're not going to do today. I don't do them on Zoom, but it'll be nice just to reverse the flow of energy. So your back can be just on the floor or on some blankets, and just legs up the wall. But if you want to fold your blanket like this, then just make sure it's 4 inches away from the wall and your tailbone drips off. You know, we're creatures of sitting, standing, lying down. You know, as yoga students, we do a lot more than that. So today we'll just do legs up the wall. Get yourself comfortable. Welcome yourself to your yoga practice. Welcome each other. Welcome your body and your breath. So welcome both your body and your breath. Two gifts. I'm not sure the mind is such a gift sometimes, but the body and your breath and your heart, your spirit, beautiful gifts. And just notice the shape of your body. Feel the ground underneath you. Notice what it's like to have legs up the wall. Observe yourself. So observe what you feel, where you feel it, no judging, no commentary, as if you're just a witness, a scientist, exploring the self, and give yourself lots of space to feel what you feel. Begin to, if you haven't already, follow your breath in and follow your breath out. Breathing deeper, longer, but maintaining a relaxed mind. And as you're breathing, you can relax the skin on your forehead, relax your eyebrows, the bridge of your nose. Let go of all expression around your eyes. Relax your cheeks, your mouth, your teeth, your gums, your tongue, the roof of your mouth. And let the back of the head feel completely supported. Relax your throat and neck muscles. So even the first and the beginning of class and the ending of class is all about just becoming present. Right? When we're present, we're detached from everything else. We're just enjoying the moment. And at the end of the class, it's the same thing. It's about letting the class go, lying on our backs and just chilling. Now, as you breathe in this moment, right? The air has a particular quality right now. The light, your light outside, inside has a particular quality. Even though your eyes are closed, you can still see the light. So breathe in this moment and breathe out all that other stuff. And just do this breath about 5 rounds, breathing from the floor of your pelvis and seeing if you can take your breath and feel it all the way up to your neck, shoulders, even the top of your head. The exhale is a letting go, and you want to feel the body let go. And you can be specific about what you would like to let go of. And you can just let spirit know what needs to be let go of. Relax your shoulders, relax your abdomen, relax your low back. And maybe for another breath or two, imagine you can breathe in from the soles of your feet all the way up to your shoulders. And exhale from the shoulders or even the top of the head all the way down to your feet, even though your legs are on the wall. Now, if you have space behind you, with your arms by your side, inhale the arms up and over your head, and exhale the arms down by your side. And do this about 5 times. And bring your awareness to your shoulder joints. And it's all the muscles around your shoulders that are moving the arms from your side, over your head, to behind you, and back down to your side again. And notice if you're moving in synchronicity with your breath, or if it's more automatic. I'm pretty sure you're all synchronizing it with your breath. Now, after you've done 5 rounds, have your arms overhead, and if you can, bend your elbows and hold your elbows. Now, if your back is tight, your armpits are tight, you can just hold your forearm. So hold something. Obviously, if you get into pain, you don't want to do any of that. And just take some deep breaths into your upper back in front of your chest. And once you've taken about 2 breaths, very slowly release your elbows down to your side. And once your arms are down by your side, take a breath in and out. And then very carefully bend your knees, roll to your side. You can make your way into tabletop to your yoga mat. So fingers spread, knees just behind the hips. Spread all the fingers. And then just do lifting of your tailbone and then tailbone down. So you're not going into cat-cow. You're just lifting the tailbone. You're just moving the pelvis. Notice if, the back feels even. So I tend to be tight on my right side. And then you'll go into full cat-cow with your breath. Only we're going to add something with our arms. So when you round into cat, you roll your upper arms in. And when you arch your back, you roll your upper arms out. Just a couple more times. And then come to a neutral spine. Take your right foot behind you, stretch back through the inner heel as you reach your collarbones forward. Nice full breaths, tone the belly a little bit. And then we'll do the opposite leg. So we tend to lean towards our outer heel, press back through your inner heel. And now come back to center, toes touch, knees wide. Really stick your sitting bones up and then press your hips back. Now you can keep your arms fully stretched out, even come on your fingertips. Center of the head on the ground, or you can fold your arms and place your forehead on your arms. And just let the back of your body relax and soften. Come back onto your hands and knees. So this is kind of a weird variation of pigeon pose, but it's a nice warm up for the hips, maybe the IT band, Lisa. Take your right knee in the center of your mat. Your right knee's not going to go all the way to your hands. It's just in the center of your mat. Lift your left knee and slide the right foot over to the left a little bit. Now curl your left toe, curl your left toes under. You're going to walk your left leg towards the left side here, to the right side here. Sorry. So the right knee's in the center, the right foot's over to the left slightly, and you walk your left foot to the right side of your mat, and then rest on your forearms. Uncurl your back toes and let the low back relax. Maybe you'll feel something in the hip. You can always be more upright if it's too much of a stretch to have your forearms on the ground. And this is a little hip opener, Carol, just a little one. We don't want anything intense at the beginning of class. So now walk your left foot back to the left, place your hands. Either cat-cow again or downward facing dog. So your choice, cat-cow or downward facing dog. Downward facing dog, knees are bent, sitting bones up, and you really press the floor away with your hands. And then come back onto hands and knees again. Slide the left knee to the center of the mat. Take the left foot slightly to the right. Curl your right toes under. You walk that right leg way back and then over to the left. We don't want to sit on our left hip, right? We want to keep our hips square and then lengthen over and relax. And obviously make adjustments so that you get somewhat of a stretch in this. So if you uncurl your back toes, relax your low back, relax your mid back, relax your head and neck, and breathe, it should be good. Good. Now walk your right leg to the right. Place your hands. You can lift up and back into down dog or just go into cat-cow. Few breaths here. And then back onto your hands and knees. We'll spin our right foot to the right, left foot to the right side of the mat. Turn to the left. Tone the belly. And that left arm up. And breathe. Now, big inner rotation of the left arm. Take it over your ear as you press into your left foot. Nice stretch on that left side. And then the rest of this is optional. Lift that left leg up. Foot is flexed. And then also optional, bend the knee, hold the foot. And breathe. And leg out, arm up, foot down, hand down, knee down. Again, your choice, cat-cow or downward facing dog. Or child. You know, a lot of times in yoga class, when we're in class together, there's a competitiveness that comes up, not with each other, but with ourselves, that we want to keep up with the group. You know, that's a big thing to let go of. If, you know, everybody's, you know, going for it, and you really, all you want to do is child pose. Like, will you do child pose? Yes, you should. Take the left foot to the left, right foot to the left side of your mat. Open up. Breathe. Turn that right arm in, take it over your ear. Nice big stretch on your right side. You can turn your chest towards the ceiling, see what it feels like. Then right arm up, right leg up, foot is flexed, everything alive. And then optional, bend the knee, hold the foot. A little back bend. And then leg back out, arm up, foot down, hand down, knee down, cat-cow. Downward facing dog. And walk your feet forward. Or your hands back. Arms out to the side, shoulders back, come on up. And exhale to your heart. Good. So you went from legs up the wall to hands and knees. So this is a different relationship to gravity that we're all familiar with. But so just feel what your body feels like after you've done a little bit of yoga, a little bit of breathing. Close your eyes. Bring your feet together, knees together, thighs together. Feet together, knees together, thighs together. Spread your toes. Pull that belly in, tailbone down, arms out to the side, little outer rotation of the arms, looking straight ahead at eye level. This is a balancing pose. So in Anusara Yoga, you know, the first principle is relax, breathe, open to grace in every pose at the beginning. Then it's muscle energy, so you hug in. And then at some point, it's organic energy, where after hugging in, you reach from your inner body out to the world. So this standing pose is a little bit more hugging in, and yet you want to be relaxed. So you want your muscles to work, even though it looks so simple, and you want to be relaxed and at ease. Turn your arms in and reach with your pinkies to come all the way up. Hug your arms towards each other, root down through your tailbone and heels. We're going to side bend over to the left. So both arms extend. Try not to collapse on the left side. You want to lengthen that waist and then side bend. Come back to center. Hug those arms in as if you're hugging a little beach ball, and then side bend over to the right. And breathe. Good. Come back to center. Take your right hand to the center of your back, your elbows up. Hold your right elbow with your left hand and pull gently towards the middle. Good. And then left arm up, right arm up. Just bend your elbows, bring the arms down for a moment and breathe. Now turn your left arm up, bend the elbow, hands in the center of the back. Your right hand pulls that left elbow towards the middle. Belly toned, right? And so some of us, it's hard to access muscles. And some of us, our muscles are already engaged. So, yoga kind of brings some self-awareness to what the heck we're doing. And sometimes you can have a body that one part of the body, like my upper body, I'm flexible, the lower body, I'm not. Release your arms, bend your elbows, bring the arms down, and I have to open my door for my cat. Open your feet hip width apart. Come on in. Come on. All right, stand with your feet a little wider than your hips and just do a relaxed forward bend. You can have blocks. Your knees can be bent. And then hands on your hips, knees can be bent still. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift your chin and chest, come on up. And breathe. Let's grab our blocks. Bring your, stand at the front of your mat with your blocks. And place your blocks so your blocks are even with your toes. And take a big step back with your left leg. Come high on your fingertips. So remember, it's almost like you don't need blocks because your legs are really doing the work. Take a nice breath in and out. So this is a sweet little hip opener. You can move your right hip more towards the midline. Often the right hip will stick out. Our butt muscles are pretty unconscious. Our back muscles are pretty unconscious. Now, you can flatten your hands on your blocks. Inhale, bring your front leg towards straight. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. And one more. Keep sliding your left foot back, drop your knee. Walk your blocks back, come behind your fingertips again. And breathe. Okay, couple of options here. Just walk your right foot more right, just for balance. Back toes are curled under. Arms out to the side, little rotation of the upper arms. You can press your hips forward in this pose, but I collapse my back, so I really have to engage my belly as I press my hips forward. If possible, clasp your hands behind your back and give yourself a little chest stretch. Again, engage your belly and lift your chest. If you can't clasp your hands, just put your hands on your hips and do this. And then lastly, the arms go up. Good. Hands on your blocks. Lift your back knee. and step forward. Open your feet as wide as your yoga mat. Do a nice relaxed forward bend. Come back up. So walk your feet towards each other for mountain pose. The blocks line up with your toes, and we take a big step back with our right foot. Eye on your fingertips. In this sense, you kind of let your hips fall towards gravity and then press your feet down and let the hips up. So you want to really feel like you've got confidence in your legs and you don't need those blocks. Your chest is lifted. Take your left foot a little bit more left for balance. Breathe down into the low belly. And then place your hands on your blocks and inhale, stretch your front leg straight. Move that left hip towards the center and exhale, bend. Do that 2 more times. So remember, our left hip likes to stick left. You want to move it towards the center of the body. Keep taking your right leg back, drop your knee. Walk your blocks back so they're a little bit closer to your hips and you can come high in your fingertips and your chest is lifted. Arms out to the side, little rotation of the upper arms, right? You press down through your feet, get a little lift up. Chest is lifted. Either hands on your hips and give yourself a little upper back bend or clasp your hands. Don't do anything with your head or neck. Pull the belly in, maybe press the hips forward a little bit and then take the arms up. Good. Bend the elbows, hands on your blocks, lift your right knee and take a step or 2 forward. And this time, hands on your hips, squeeze your shoulder blades, come on up. And just pause for a moment. So when you feel the blood flow in the body, every pose we do has different benefits, but the whole overall effect is that blood is getting cleansed, different kind of breaking up normal patterns that we have during the day. And that energy flow is just life flow. Very good and healthy for us. So now stand in the middle of your mat. You're going to need, have your both blocks. You can have one block in front of you, but you'll need to hold another block with your right hand. Walk out wide. Check your toes out. They should line up. The edges of the feet are parallel to the edges of the mat. Turn your right foot out 90 degrees. Bend the knee. Place the block. The block is not going to be forward. It's going to be slightly back by your heel. Now with strong legs, straighten both legs. So I go a little wider in triangle pose. Just because it feels better for me. Pull the belly in. Extend the arms. And even here, that bottom arm can lift. That's how strong your legs are. You're not relying on the block. Now bend your front knee and take the arm over the ear. Good. Inhale up. Turn your right foot forward. So we're going to need the 2 blocks so we can walk our blocks forward. So we don't want the blocks by our feet and do a regular forward bend. We want the blocks forward so that the weight on our feet is even. Usually the weight on our feet in these poses are in our heels. sink between your shoulder blades, and you lift up as if you're doing cow pose. Right, so my chest is lifted, my tailbone is lifted, I'm a little sunk in my spine. And this is called upward facing, forward bend. Then you can walk your blocks back and do a regular forward bend. You don't need blocks. Some of you don't need blocks. And again, just make sure that the weight isn't really in your heels. It's a little bit more forward. And we're going to come out. Turn your left foot out to the left. Place your block. Right hand on your hip. Stretch that front leg straight for triangle. Even your left butt cheek needs to be tucked under a little bit. Nice opening. A pose that's familiar to all of you. And I'm noticing that my hand is really attached to the block, right? Because I'm a little bit too wide. So I just shorten my stance and now my legs are doing the work. Bend your front knee, take the arm over the ear. And we're going to come out. Walk your feet in. Close your eyes and breathe. I've used this example so many times, but it always kind of shocked me into the present moment when I was going through divorce. So we all have our challenges. So mine at one point in my life was going through divorce. I was in court all the time. And the act of teaching and the act of doing yoga, it wiped it all out. And even if I only had that relief for an hour and a half or 2 hours, it was building a, excuse me, a muscle that I wasn't just in that craziness 24/7. You want your block, you want your wall. I don't really have wall space. I'm going to use this chest. We're going to do half moon on the wall. So we'll start with our right foot forward. Your right hip will be, you want to be close enough to the wall, maybe like 4 inches, so you can lean against the wall. Your hip can lean against the wall. Bend your right knee, place your block. Then lean against, I'm leaning against my chest. Not my chest, but my chest and force. Back leg up, arm up, lean back, use the support and breathe. That back leg is lifted, the foot is flexed, every part of you is alive and well. Come on out. Take a breath in and out. And we'll go to the other side. Open it up, let it feel good. Lean back into the support. And then bend the knee. Come on up and breathe. So, looking at the time, forget the chair. We'll do it next week. Come onto your backs. Have your blocks nearby, have your blankets nearby. As you lay on your back, whether your knees are bent or your legs are straight, just feel the ground underneath you and relax into that support. You know, a big thing that so many of us are attached to is our cell phones. And I was at a retreat before the pandemic, just a silent retreat for one day. And he made us put our cell phones on the stage. And it was so mind opening to feel the urge to look at my cell phone during the day, even though I didn't have it. And I'll tell you, it was free, a sense of freedom that I didn't have to look at it. Tuck your shoulder blades under a little bit, just a little, and arch and flatten the back. So you want to arch the back and then flatten the back. Or another way to say it is arch the spine, your hips stay down, your shoulders stay down. The spine moves away from the floor, and then bring the spine vertebrae by vertebrae down to the floor. It's like doing cat-cow, only you have the floor giving you feedback. Open your feet as wide as the yoga mat and drop your right knee to your left ankle 5 times. Now, the 5th time that the knee's by the left ankle, take your left ankle and put it on the side of the right leg, close to the knee. Take your right arm over your head. If it's comfortable, take your left arm over the head and hold your elbows. And breathe deep. So we are creatures of turning our legs out. It's rare that you see people walking with their feet turned in. So this pose is really nice to do an inner rotation of that right leg. Now slowly release your elbows, bring your elbows and arms down by your side. And then to bring the legs up, pull the belly in to bring the legs up. And then just tune in. Again, you're the observer, you're the witness. How does the back feel? So my right side of my hip and back is flatter than my left side. I have no idea what muscles, what the names of the muscles are that we use, but it's that inner rotation, because we're habitually outer rotators, is a nice, especially for those of us who want to open our hips and IT band. Take your left knee towards your right ankle. You always have to start with your feet as wide as the yoga mat. So left knee to right ankle 5 times. And the 5th time, place the right ankle on top. Take the left arm over your head. And really, that's all you have to do. You don't have to have both arms, but if you can do both arms and it's you're getting a little better stretch, do it. You just don't want pain. And breathe. Slowly release your elbows, bring the arms down. Pull the belly in, lift the knees. Check your back out. Notice what you notice without judging it. And then arch and flatten again. Stretch your right leg up towards the ceiling and point and flex. Bend the knee and place your right ankle on top of your left thigh. Lift the left foot, and if you can, grab underneath that left thigh, giving yourself a little hip stretch. The key word, little. A little hip stretch. Now place your left foot down. And Carol, this is new. Take your right leg up again, point and flex. We want to take our right foot underneath our left leg. You can lift your left knee foot again. Grab your right foot with your left hand. Grab your right foot with your left hand. Place the left foot down. Let the right leg kind of fall towards the floor. It doesn't have to touch. And you want to pull your belly in strong here. So if you can't quite grab your foot, you can always put a belt around the foot. The key here really is pulling your belly in. Pulling the belly in. Yes, you might get a stretch in your quad, but you're going to get a stretch in the front of the hip, in your fascia, which there's some poses that stretch the fascia in the front of the hip. But I don't really do them that much, and I wouldn't do them without being in class with you. So, but this is a nice stretch in the quad. It's a good stretch in your fascia in the front. Now release the foot. With your hand, slide it slowly to the right, stretch that right leg out, stretch your left leg out, and breathe. And you want to feel the difference in the two sides. So bend your knees again, lift that left leg up, point and flex. Bend the knee, that left ankle goes on your right thigh. The foot is flexed on this. And then hold underneath your right thigh. And, you know, I didn't think of doing it, but it's also nice to have a belt around your right foot and pulling the leg towards you, as opposed to if you're struggling to grab underneath your thigh. And again, key word here is a little stretch, not a big one. You can breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And you know, we have the same body, but we have two different sides, and they may feel different. And place your left foot down, your right foot down, left leg up, point and flex. And again, we want to take the left foot underneath the right knee. So my right foot is lifted from the floor. Grab your foot or put a belt around it. Pull the belly in and breathe. So a pose like this stretch, when it's for the fascia, We probably should hold it much longer than what we do, but we get a little taste of it. We still get some benefits. Breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Now release the foot, slowly take the left leg over towards the left again. Stretch it out, stretch out the right. Take some full breaths in and out. And we're almost ready for Shavasana. One last pose. This is for our IT bands. Bend your knees. Lift your hips over to the left about 3-4 inches. Right, your shoulders stay the same, just your hips move to the side. Stretch your right leg out. Your left knee is bent. Hold it with the right hand. And press down on that right, not at the knee, just at your low thigh. Press down and see if you can feel a stretch in your IT band. If you didn't, if you just did knee down twist and didn't press down, you would get a stretch in your, maybe right deep in your hip. Press down. And the foot, don't let the foot touch the floor. Good. Inhale, come on up. Straighten yourself out. Take a breath in and out. Lift your hips over to the right about 3-4 inches. Stretch your left leg out. You roll onto the side of your left hip. Hold the bottom of your right thigh and press down. It's the pressing down that will give you the IT band stretch. You might feel it deep in your hip. And come on out. Good. Straighten yourself out. So I planned more than what we had time for, because I also wanted to do supported shoulder stand, but you're ready for Shavasana. You know, you can just extend your legs out and go for it. You can do legs up the wall. You can put blankets under your knees and head. Get yourself super comfortable. I am going to run a couple minutes over time. So we're back at the beginning, in a sense. Tuning in, letting go. Getting detached from our class. The points you liked, get detached from. The points you weren't even thinking about, get detached from. The points that you didn't like. Not that you have to get detached like it didn't exist, but is there something that we need to do differently, approach differently? Just feel the support of the floor underneath you. Feel the support of your home. Feel the support of the earth. Feel the support of your friends, family, your yoga practice, all your other practices that bring you to a moments of Zen. Take a nice full breath in. Take a breath out. And at the bottom of the exhale, pause. Pause until you want to take another breath in again. And just do this about 3 times. So it's an inhale, exhale, pause at the bottom of the exhale. And that pause at the bottom of the exhale is a space where peace exists, where freedom exists. Right? It's already a part of us. That space is already integrated in us. We're just kind of taking a moment to pause to be with it. And if you'd like, in that pause, just say the word to yourself, peace. And let the feeling of peace resonate in your whole body. Soften the skin on your forehead. Relax your brow, your eyebrows, the bridge of your nose. Soften the muscles around your eyes. Let your eyes move deep into your eye sockets. Release any tension in your cheeks or mouth. We hold a lot of tension on our face and we hold a lot of tension in our mouth. So wash all that tension out. Let your tongue relax. Get a sense that your eyes are moving back into your eye sockets. The head completely releases to the floor and your neck and throat muscles relax. And just imagine a calm, peaceful energy that moves from the top of your head to the soles of your feet. It's like a gift from the gods, a universal, peaceful flow of energy enters your body from the crown of your head. It moves through your body, touching every part of you to the soles of your feet. And you can feel your muscles breathing and relaxing away from the grip, their attachments to your bones. Let your bones breathe and relax. So your whole skeletal body, your muscular body just softens. And you dive deep within yourself. And rest in that part of you that is forever peaceful. That's forever still. It pulsates with joy and love. Just let yourself rest there for one more minute.
Just keeping the mind and body relaxed. Breathe in this moment of this morning on this August Friday. Breathe in the light of the morning. Let the light of the morning bless you, prepare you for the rest of your day. Breathe in that air. Let the air fill up the body. Let your inhale bring that in. Let the exhale let go. Everything about the class, your body will remember what it needs to remember. Stretch and move a little bit. When you're ready, bend your knees, roll to the side, come back up to sit. Take your time. Once you're seated, just join your palms together. So even this symbol of namaste, with our hands joined, is a symbol of yoga. You know, one hand can represent all our attachments, all our desires, all our expectations, and the left hand can represent that we have the ability to detach what is not good or healthy for us. So the palms join. Take this moment to honor your practice. Send lots of love to family, friends, and neighbors. From my heart to your heart, thank you for allowing me to be a yoga guide today. Namaste.
Thank you so much, Deb. That was great.
You're welcome. Have a great weekend.
Okay, you have a good weekend too. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Yes, I second that. That was wonderful, Deb.
Oh, good.
I feel good. Great way to start my morning.
Thank you for joining. I'm so glad to see you
Yeah, have a good weekend.
too.
Thanks, Deb. Can I
Yeah.
ask, tell you something?
Yeah.
Because I never remember until we're